Self-driving freight cars? Well, they might be here. Einride, they are here, actually. That is what we're looking at. Well, that's what we're in, right, is an Einride? Tell us what this is, Robert.
Yeah, we're standing inside the cargo space of a completely new type of vehicle called a T-Pod. In here, you can fit 15 pallets, and the ambition to have these full autonomous, all-electric trucks called T-Pods on the road later this year.
And there's no cab, there's no driver, right?
No, if you rethink the whole way and rethink how you're going to do transport tomorrow, why should you add a cab? It doesn't make sense at all. You can rethink and rework, and this one is platform much cheaper and much more efficient. You can have a much better economy in applying this kind of technology on the roads.
Now, what's the market you're looking at for this generation?
We're looking for mid distance to travel. There's somewhere in between 200 to 500 kilometers. That's where we have our really advantage in operating.
And it doesn't, I guess, have to be that big because you can just have multiple T-Pods, right?
Exactly. I mean, we are roughly 1/3 of the price of a regular truck today. So that means we can have 3 T-Pods instead of having one big haul. And that makes actually perfect sense since the loading capacity or the filling rate in the average truck, especially in Europe, is 30%. So most trucks go around empty. So for us to make it smaller and have a higher filling rate would make absolute perfect sense.
And so, yeah, much better utilization, it sounds like. We're at the Nvidia GPU conference, and that's what's driving this in terms of the brains, right?
That's sure. We're partnering up with Nvidia, and of course, Nvidia is really a powerhouse when it comes to this area. So we are using their new platform, the PX, to actually apply the self-driving autonomous to our technology.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the types of sensors you have to make this thing work?
We have a full stack. Since we have a business case around transport, it's really good. I would still struggle a bit to figure out how the business case is going to work regarding how autonomous cars are going to be sold. They are extremely expensive, the sensors, but we can do a really good business case on it and starting to apply it. So we have 4 LiDARs, one in each corner, one front LiDAR, front loop, and we have radar back and forth, and we also have a camera system. So basically we have a full stack setup.
So you also are doing a tele-operator type thing as well, right?
That's correct. I mean, we think that, like a lot of other partners, we think that self-driving needs to be complemented with remote control. And also, my experience for autonomous transport inside factories is that you need an operator, you need someone to be able to take care of the vehicle and understand if something not expected happens.
On the tele-operator, I assume is a one for N type thing where one operator can support multiple T-Pods?
Yeah, that's of course a step. Our goal is to have one operator per 10 vehicles. That's what we're going for. And I think that's where we're going to end up, even how we move along the technology. You need someone who was to, so to say, monitor and see what's going to happen with the vehicles itself. And overall, I think it's going to be a step approach to this.
So from a telecom perspective, what sort of bandwidth are we talking about and need for that?
The biggest challenge is, of course, latency. That's something that we really need to work with. And I think that we have partners working that we collaborate with with 5G. And with 5G, a lot of these problems are solved. But we also have partners to provide us with the right technology to be able to do this for 4G as well.
I assume that you have some backup type stuff though too, if you lose connection or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But this big part of what we do is to also understand what are the connectivity and where we can use it, where we can apply it, because of course it becomes much easier to have the right connectivity.
From a drivetrain perspective, it is electric. How does it work? Do you have separate motors for each wheel? Is it in-wheel motors or what?
We have one electric engine. So basically what we've done is we work together with our suppliers. We have a retrofitted electric chassis that we have one electric engine connected to the drivetrain and connected with the batteries, of course.
And so from a range perspective, there's no range anxiety because you know how far you have to go, I assume.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like a lot of problems that we're discussing, both with autonomous and batteries, is because we're a little bit of lack of understanding of the business itself. Because if you want to go from Boston to Los Angeles in one long haul, batteries maybe not optimum. But to be very honest, it's not that many that go from Boston to Los Angeles. Most of the transport is much shorter.
Well, and you also touched upon the idea of you have much fewer edge cases given your model.
Oh yeah, sure.
And so from a business model perspective, how are you guys a service model? Are you selling trucks? How are you doing this?
I think that you have to understand the client's needs, and we are offering the service of transport, and we installing the system, a transport system, together with the customers. So what we are offering our customers is the journey towards the full autonomous transport system.
So you really become kind of that layer that helps make this thing go on an operational basis.
Exactly. So we are the truckers of tomorrow.
Excellent. And so speaking of tomorrow, this is the first time vehicle has been here in Silicon Valley. When do you expect commercial in the United States?
We are looking for partners right now, and we have customers here. So the ambition is to set up office here during Q3 this year. And the ambition is to be able to start and operate the first vehicles here early next year.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for letting us do this interview in the T-Pod.
Yeah, you're welcome to join us next time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.